This is how my Amiga would sound like. I tried to replace the Polar chip, visually checked the capacitors, and everything seemed fine. I asked for help on an Amiga Facebook group, and they suggested I check the power supply. And sure enough, it did not give me correct voltage. I asked my brother to help me fix it, and he did check for cracks in the PCB and did a quick test of the capacitors. They seemed fine, but all he could do was to check if the capacitors were able to take some charge, or if they were completely dead. He could not find any dead capacitors, but still assumed one of them had to be broken. He said it was probably easier to modify another power supply instead. I thought this old Pentium 4 IBM would have a decent power supply, so I took it out and started converting it. I found a guide online that was easy to follow, and in the video description there is a link to that guide. Now let's try to start the Amiga. As you can see and hear, it's working perfectly fine. I do have some gadgets for the Amiga I want to show you. I have one external floppy drive. Okay, so it's not that super interesting, but I thought this could be more interesting. The Action Replay MK3. Here I load Pinball Dreams, and first it's using the internal floppy drive, then the external floppy drive. This is hard. Let's make it easier. Press the freeze button and we get this command line interface. Here you can do a lot of stuff. I read the manual and I don't understand half of it. You can copy files, format, and check your floppies. Check for virus, save your current game to load back up later, give yourself extra lives, or move your joystick and pushing the button can be mapped to a key like spacebar. There is just lots of stuff you can do. I think people use this device to make cracks for games. I will show you how to rip music. First I have loaded in Lotus 2, then I went into command line and we type in tracker. Then it's searching for music that is loaded in, and once it finds it, you can play the song, or you can show more details, or save the file to a floppy. Just put in another floppy with enough space, and you can save the music file. So this was just a quick look at the Amiga that is now working. I wanted to show you more stuff, but right now the only way for me to get software I want is to go down to my brother and copy stuff to floppies. Sometimes I make a mistake, or the floppy fails, or I forget something, so I need to find an easier way. I think I want to use a parallel cable between an Amiga and a PC. There are easier solutions like Gotek floppy drive, but I want to try to connect an Amiga and a 486 or something like that. For the next video, I found something very interesting in the dumpster, and I don't know what it is yet. It's dirty, it's old, and it's strange.